Crafty friends, it's Courtney Brickner, the CV behind the Crafty Brick. Welcome to my channel and welcome to day 30 of National Crafty Month. I have been crafting every single day this month to celebrate National Crafty Month, and we're at the end of the month. I cannot believe it. I have made so many projects this month, and today I'm not actually making a project, but I'm going to be sharing 10 craft hacks that I think every crafter should know. Things that I've learned over the years that have helped me just be more efficient with my projects, and I just think I wanted to share those with you today. So I hope that you enjoy these craft hacks. If you've used them, let me know in the comments which one is your favorite. If you've never seen some of them, let me know that as well. So let's get to it. Top 10 craft hacks that I want to share with you.
My DIY cup holder is something I get asked about all the time, so I wanted to show you how I made it. This is a foam board from Dollar Tree, and I've got a pool noodle. You can use foam board, you can use cardboard, dry erase board, clipboard, anything that's got kind of a substantial back to it, so it's not going to bend. So basically you just need something that's firm. And this is a little bit bigger than what we need, so I'm just going to cut this a little bit smaller. Then I'm just going to measure my pool noodle so that I can get it to the right size that will fit on my board. And I didn't really like exactly the uneven surface that I chose with those scissors, so then I just got a better knife so that I could cut it and make it nice and straight. Then I take my pool noodle, cut it in half, and I'm going to adhere this to my board. I'm going to do the one side first so that I can just get the placement. So I just put a little hot glue on and then adhere that to the board. But then I go get my mug and another cup, just the things that I might be using just to get the measurement right so I know how wide apart that they should be. And then I put glue on the other side and press that down, and we've got our DIY cup holder. Do you ever struggle with trying to get the backing off of some type of vinyl? You're using your fingers, and if you've got fingernails, it makes it even harder. Using the weeding tool and just grabbing the edge of it, hooking it on, and then starting to peel it off makes it so much easier to start to weed that material and get it off the backing. If you've ever been in the middle of a project and you're using adhesive vinyl, so you need some transfer paper, and you've weeded it and realized you don't have any transfer paper on hand, well, this will help you. Use a lint roller and just take one sheet off and apply it to your vinyl, and it works perfectly, and it's ready to be applied to your blank. Have you ever had a design that you needed to layer, but you didn't want to just kind of put on your top layer and risk getting it in the wrong spot and not centered? Well, this hack is for you. If my paper's a little bit curved, I like to tape it down just to keep it from moving. And then I put a piece of parchment paper on top of the bottom layer. Then I take my top layer, put it in the right spot because I can see with the parchment paper where it needs to go. I leave a little bit out so I don't put the parchment paper over the entire design. So that little part that's out, I stick it down to secure it into place, and then I pull the parchment paper out from the middle, and as I'm pulling it out, I use my squeegee and press the top layer down to the bottom layer. Then we have a perfectly layered design. It is not off-centered, it is not crooked. The parchment paper helped us get it into place, and now we are ready to apply it to our blank. And we can use our DIY cup holder that we made previously, place our cup right on there. It's held in place, it doesn't roll around, and then we place our vinyl on there, start to press from the middle towards the outside, and we've used our lint roller transfer tape. We press it down onto the glass and then peel back the transfer paper, and we have our perfectly centered design with our lint roller transfer tape. It all worked out great. Are you tired of using glitter, having it left on the table, and then you wipe it up to have it all over your hands? Well, don't do that anymore. We're going to use a lint roller, get that off of our hands, and we're going to wipe the table with the lint roller. It gets up all of the glitter, and then when you get it all cleaned up, you just take that sheet off and you throw it away. And it's perfect because then you don't have glitter all over you and all over everything else. Ever have a DTF transfer or vinyl that needs to cold peel and you don't feel like waiting? Well, when it comes out of the press, pull it out and then get a stainless steel tumbler and just rub it over the transfer. It absorbs the heat and allows your transfer to cool down a lot faster. Make sure you're wearing a glove because since it's absorbing the heat, it is very, very hot. It cools it down a lot faster so you don't have to wait. And then when it's all cool, then you can just peel it off like normal. When you have a big project with adhesive vinyl, it can be annoying because when you're weeding it, the vinyl can get stuck together and then you end up ruining your whole project. What I like to do is to get a razor and just put a little line in between all of my designs. I don't cut all the way through, I just cut the top layer with the vinyl and then I have a much smaller area to weed at a time. And I'm not trying to weed the entire design and it doesn't get stuck together. I love using this trick. It really is helpful when working with big projects. Do you have a hard time seeing your cut lines when you're working with glitter vinyl? It can be difficult to see, but using this rolling hack makes it a lot easier. You just roll in the area that your vinyl is cut, that you know you cut it, and when you roll it, you can actually see the cut line so much better, and then you know where you're able to cut so that you're not actually cutting your design accidentally, which I've done before. Have you ever press a design onto your blank and it's all looking great? You're like, I weeded it perfectly. This design is so cute. And then you go to take the carrier sheet off and you realize you forgot to take out the middle of one of the letters. Ugh, so frustrating. You know what? Your design is not ruined. Let me show you how to fix it. Get your mini press or one other handheld press and put it on the back of your garment or design. And you leave it on there for just a few seconds and then you are able to peel off that HTV. It can be a middle piece, it can be a full piece, whatever you need to fix. Then after you've got it taken off, you're going to take a little non-stick paper. It could be like a Teflon sheet or parchment paper. Put that on top, and then you're just going to press with your easy press or your mini press, any heat press that you have. And then you are good to go. The design that you thought was ruined is actually just perfect. The hinge method is a way that we can get our design straight on our blank without messing up and sticking our vinyl down in a place that we actually don't want it. So we're not going to remove the transfer paper from it just yet. We've weeded the design, the transfer paper's on there. What we're going to do is go ahead and get our blank and put the entire thing with the transfer paper on top. Then we're going to find the center where we want our design on our blank, and we're going to put a piece of tape along the center line. We folded it in half, we folded our design in half to get that center marking, and we've measured on our blank to see where that center point is. We place our tape down, making sure that the tape is adhered to our blank on the top and the bottom. Then we're going to go ahead and take one side of our design and remove the backing from that side only. So we take the backing off, and then after we get the backing off, we're going to go ahead and roll back our transfer paper and press our vinyl down onto our blank. Then we remove the tape. Because our one side is already set in place, it's not going to shift. So then we remove the backing from that other side that was on the other side of the tape, and then we take our transfer paper and lay it down, press it down onto that side. Then we've got a straight design on the first try. Reverse weeding can be helpful if you're working with adhesive vinyl and you have a very small font with little details. Sometimes I take out the middles of the letters, sometimes I don't even do that before I do the reverse weeding. I just save it all until the end with the reverse weeding. But this time the letters were okay for me to take out the middles prior to doing the weeding. It just depends on which font you're using. So I'm just taking out all of these little pieces, which sometimes can get really lost when you're doing regular weeding. Typically, when you're doing regular weeding, you're taking off the excess, but this time with reverse weeding, you're actually leaving the excess vinyl on there. You put the transfer taper on, then you're going to remove the backing and then take off all of the extra vinyl that you don't need. It really helps so that you don't lose teeny little pieces when you're working with those very detailed little fonts.
All right, those are all the craft hacks. We are at the end of National Crafty Month. Tomorrow is the last day, and we're going to have a recap talking about all the things that we did this month, our favorites, our not so favorites. I'm going to be sharing the things that actually didn't go well, or maybe I didn't finish during the lives this month. I'll be sharing those as well. And yeah, we're just going to have a recap and hang out, talk crafty stuff, and go over the entire month. So I hope that you will join me again tomorrow. Like I said, if you saw some of the hacks that you had not seen before, please let me know in the comments that you found it helpful. And if you've seen all of them, then I don't know, sorry I couldn't help you. But I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure that you are subscribed, that you like this video, and turn the notification so that you don't miss anything crafty. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you tomorrow. Until then, stay crafty, my friends. Bye.